Okay, in this next section I want to take a look at using triplets within using your down picking and palm muting that we looked at in the first section. Now basically all that's going to be doing is using alternate picking, so you're going to be using upstrokes as well as downstrokes. Now a triplet normally means 3 notes, and you just literally play down, up, down, and that will be your triplet on any given beat that you choose to play it on. So if you were going to play it on beat 1 and then just down pick the rest of the bars, you'd have this sort of thing. Okay, so you're still playing the E chord at the moment, and what you're doing is playing a downstroke, upstroke, then downstroke, and then carrying on from beat 2 with just the down picks. Now again, from a dynamic point of view, you can either choose to do your down, up, down on the low E string, which would give a tighter sound, or you could include a much heavier sound and include the 5th of that chord as well, and play both strings with your down, up, down. Again, you'll probably have to push in just a little bit more, but if you're angling your pick, it's going to glide through the strings a little bit better, so you're not going to get stuck while doing that. Okay, the other thing that I want to talk about as well is you can also mute with your left hand. When you're not playing chords, you can just raise your fingers and just rest them on the top of the strings, so you're not going to get any sound at all. Like if you just play with your right hand on the strings, you just have that kind of muted sound. But when you stop playing, both your kind of left hand rests on the strings and your right hand palm mute is sitting on the strings as well. So again, it's another way of being able to kill the strings so you don't get any noise whatsoever. So it keeps your metal riffing nice and clean. Okay, again, you can change the dynamic of what you're doing. With the down, up, down, you don't have to palm mute that. You could also, raise your hand up, to play that fairly open, and then you could clamp it down for the rest of the downstroke. So you could have something like this. Okay, if you wanted to practice those triplets a little bit more, you could just do it on every beat of the bar. So you'd literally just do down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, and you'd have a continuous sounding riff that would sound like this. Okay, so with that style riffing, you really want to keep it nice and even, nice and clean, and just to help you out when you start doing it, just to start doing it at a slow tempo, and then just gradually sort of speed it up. You can practice to a metronome, or there's actually some drum tracks that we're going to be looking at later in this DVD, where we're going to be looking at where to place your triplets and stuff, and really get used to playing in time with a drummer. And once you get used to playing a bit quicker, you can end up with something like this. And it's really starting to build up your coordination and, just generally working on your metal riffing, just so, when you get in a band context, you're really going to be tight and working with the drummer. And that's kind of the aim of the game when you're playing this style of music, to keep it really tight, really clean, and, as aggressive as possible.